Hello, everyone. I'm Shemaine Nugent, and I would love for you to stick around because I've got a few things to share with you. I want to get your idea, your suggestions, your comments about something very important and tell you about a couple of things that are coming up, including that involve if you're a pet owner, you're going to want to hear this. So stay tuned. And as always, leave your comments in the comments section. I need my glasses to check that out, but this is going to be really quick. You know why? Super quick, very quick, because I got to go to American Eagle and I got to go buy some jeans. It's just, and I'm not kidding. I'm going to go to American Eagle and buy jeans. I love their jeans. I've actually had American Eagle jeans. Those are my two favorite jeans that I've had. And for years, I've shopped there for years. But now more than ever, I'm going to go buy some more jeans. I want to get your thoughts on that. And if you have a comment, leave it in the chat. Don't forget, hey, did I finally get you live? Yes, Jesse, you finally got me live. Thank you so much for being here. I want to talk to you about YouTube. I want to get more people on YouTube. I used to have a boatload, and I think I got so suppressed, and people just weren't joining because of that, because they weren't getting the algorithm, the information that I was going live, like you now did, Jesse. So thank you so much for being here. Okay, first up, I want to tell you about my Faith and Freedom show, because I just got done recording it. So this week on Faith and Freedom, that airs, as you can see in the ticker on the lower third, Faith and Freedom airs on Real America's Voice, americasvoice.news. You can go there and watch it live 10 a.m. Sunday. But right when we're done with this, you can go there and grab last week's show and watch it, or all the other shows. You can go back and watch them all. But this week, we're going to be cutting through some of the headlines and digging into what really matters. That's what I want. I don't want to get the fluff that mainstream media is just like dodging. President Trump just made a massive trade deal with the EU, and most of the media missed it, or they're not talking about it. Anthony Esposito joins me to explain how this move could flip the script on energy, jobs, and America's power on the world stage. Isn't that what we all want? And Anthony and I talk about, isn't it a shame that there are actually some people that they're looking at what's going on, how the tariffs didn't hurt us, but actually we're making trillions of dollars from it. Not only is it's the art of the deal that President Trump is clearly the master of. But also joining me on Faith and Freedom is Dr. Richard Bartlett, and he's sounding the alarm about taking on the FDA and the mRNA agenda and the laws that protect big pharma from accountability. And something just happened with RFK. I thought, when I saw this, I thought, okay, well, he was a Democrat and now he's showing his true colors. That's not true. That vaccine push got pushed through without him knowing about it. And Dr. Richard Bartlett said, my show, Faith and Freedom, is the first time he's talked about it. And he was one of the top picks that RFK had to head up his department. So long story there, but he'll talk about that as well. I'm also going to be joined. I'm going to be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart. It should be to yours too, and that's toxic mold. It's not a sexy topic, but Brandon Chapo and Erica Thompson are going to be joining me. They're from Change the Air Foundation, and they're talking about toxic mold, the indoor air dangers, but also about policy changes. You're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you, but in Texas, you don't have to be a licensed builder to be a general contractor. What could go wrong? A lot. So we talk a little bit about that. And then also my friends, Josh and Emily, Rachel or Rochelle, there's a discrepancy between them. Emily likes to say her name as Rachel. Josh says Raquel. Either way, they talk about their horrifying story about what happened to them with toxic mold. And also people talk about turning a mess into a message. Boy, have they ever. And you've got to hear their story. It's heartbreaking. And Every time I hear it, like I had to fight myself from crying. And I've been with them a lot. In fact, Rocco and I are going to be their keynote speakers for their event December 6th in Austin, Texas, called Malachi's Message at the Four Seasons in Austin. And they're raising money to what they're doing, some beautiful things. Again, turning their mess into a message. You have to hear their story. If you haven't, Emily was 8 months pregnant and lost the baby. They found out because of toxic mold. Their dog also passed away, and their son had developmental problems that all changed when they moved out of their house that they were living in. But they've turned that mess into a message, and they're helping other people. They're raising money so that they can, people don't realize this. I get DMs every day, phone calls, text messages. Friends of friends will say, okay, what were your symptoms for toxic mold? I want to see if mine is. I wrote a book about it. You can read all about it. Not trying to just send people to my book, but really there is so much information in that book. It's almost everything I know about toxic mold. I'm learning more and more every day. In fact, Rocco and I are working on a docu-series that we're going to be hopefully getting on big streaming media. That's my dream, is to get the message out and to help other people. But Josh and Emily Rachel are doing just that. And they have Malachi's Message. If you go to malachismessage.org, malachismessage.org, and you can buy your tickets for December 6th. Rocco and I will be keynote speakers for their event to help raise money. Some of the things that they're doing is they raise money when you are sick. This is the number one thing that I tell people, especially people. I know someone who is a single mom. She's not making a lot of money, and she couldn't afford to move out of her apartment, which clearly had mold in it. Mushrooms were growing on the carpet. And I said, do you have some friends you could go stay with for a week and see if you feel better? Anyways, I walked her through a lot of different scenarios. One being, go camping. The goal is see if you feel better out of the house. If you come home, that was Ted's and my experience. He was on tour a lot back then, touring 150 days a year. We were in Europe. I'll never forget this, in London, rainy London. And we both were like, wow, that's what it's supposed to feel like when you sleep. Wow. And we came home, we started feeling terrible again. Go to killerhouse.org and you can find out, you can watch my documentary that I have currently, but it is going to change. We're going to have a docu-series soon. Let's see if I can find the killerhouse.org. I don't know if I have a lower third for that. Killer House. This is for my book, Killer House. It's on Amazon. Let's see. I don't know if I have it. Okay, maybe not. Killer House. No, I don't have it. Anyways, killerhouse.org, killerhouse.org. I'm going to be having a new online program coming soon. That's basically my book on steroids. I'm going to change your life. Even if you don't think you were exposed to toxic mold, which I almost guarantee you have been, I'm going to give you all of the information that I've been doing to get healthy, from what I eat to what I put on my skin to the exercises I do and all of that, but also all the information, not only from me, but from doctors and attorneys and professionals, mold remediators, and people who have been through the eye of the storm and came out on the other end, lived to tell about it. I want you to hear their stories. People who are in military housing, which is a shame. Our veterans should get the best housing, the best. Okay, I digress. Okay, and I do have to go. So this is the last question I have for you. I'd love to hear your comments. Bought the jeans ago. Looking at all of your comments. Okay, here's the question I have for you. So I do my Faith and Freedom show on Real America's Voice, which I love. I'm so grateful to have that platform. I come here live often, not as often as as I used to. I would like to do an audio only podcast, and I wondered if you could write in the comment section, even after this airs, write in the comment section, would you watch or would you listen to an audio only podcast? And what are some of the topics or some of the podcasts that you listen to? I would like to speak to women who are struggling to keep it all together. You know, we are, whether husbands or spouses, or, you know, you could be single mom, maybe no kids. But if you find yourself in that situation where you're trying to do so much and you feel like you're just hanging by a thread, those are the women that I want to speak to. And I want to share some of my personal story, but also other people. I want to speak with other wellness leaders and coaches and therapists and pastors and people who could give us all information on what they do, because there's some things that I don't know if you know about. There's a woman, Dr. Carolyn Leaf, who wrote a book. I believe it's called Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. But she talks a lot about neuroplasticity. That's a topic that I had not heard of prior to reading her book. And it's a thing. You can change the way you think. You can change your body's chemistry by the way you think. Like it or not, we all carry emotional baggage from our childhood or even from yesterday. We all carry those issues. And if you learn a few simple tips, it really can change your physiology, your chemistry, your makeup. And I think that that's really important. It's helped me a lot. Okay. I'm looking at the comment section. In my ear while yes, wish it was in my ear. Okay. Yes, I really do believe that information like this can change people's lives, especially toxic mold. So go to killerhouse.org, and I'm going to have a new program coming soon. Sign up for the free email. It's going to be free. Just put your email address in there, killerhouse.org. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Make it a great day. If you haven't already seen my Faith and Freedom show, go to americasvoice.news, americasvoice.news, and check out the show links. Scroll down to Faith and Freedom. You can see all my previous shows. And then every Sunday morning, we go live on americasvoice.news. All right, guys, have an amazing day. I will talk to you soon.